and welcome to Highly Sensitive Wellness. Today, I just want to open up and share something that's really deeply personal with all of you, something that might resonate with many of you as HSPs and empaths. If you're also like me on a journey of self-discovery and healing. For the longest time, I thought that meditation and mindfulness were just not for me in any way. Every time I sat down to meditate or tried to connect with what was going on inside of me, it felt almost like I was drowning in this whirlpool of emotions that I couldn't get a handle on. It was really intense and really overwhelming. And more often than not, I would just burst into tears. I had absolutely no conscious ideas about where the tears were coming from. And it was really scary and really lonely. And I thought that somehow all this was my fault. I was doing something completely wrong. So I just quit. And meditation seemed so effortless to everyone else, so easy. And it made me really question myself. Like, am I broken? Why can't I find all of this peace and calmness that so many other people who meditate seem to find so easily? But meditation and mindfulness kept calling me back in different ways, and it was really super annoying. Why couldn't I stop thinking about this thing that seemed to make me so miserable? And it was super frustrating, but at the same time, it was also kind of fascinating because it was as if my soul knew that there was something really profound for me to discover and uncover, and something that my thinking mind was not able to grasp. So when I went back to meditating, what I did is I went really slowly. So instead of trying to meditate every day, I started with just once a week, just for a few minutes, and I kind of slowly built up from there. And over time, I started to understand that it wasn't the practice itself that was making me feel so uncomfortable and miserable. It was actually my resistance to facing all of the discomfort and fear that came with it. And it was just easier. It was just easier to avoid the stillness, easier to bury my fear in all kinds of daily distractions because I had pushed so many feelings and unhappy memories so deep inside. And when I sat down to meditate, they all started rushing to the surface and I couldn't process them. And I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to face my past traumas. And I didn't want to face all the parts of me that I was told for so long they were unworthy of love and unworthy of respect. And so this practice was holding a mirror up to my soul, almost reflecting all of these things that I had suppressed for so long. So there was one day where I just decided to sit down and let go of the idea that meditation had to look a certain way. And instead of fighting my emotions, I decided just for that one time only that I was going to be open to whatever came and not have any expectations, and also not planning on ever doing it that way again. So at the end of the 10 minutes or so, I had cried and then I had laughed and then I was crying again. But really the most significant thing that happened for me was that at the end of it, I was okay. I had survived it. And I even felt the tiniest bit almost lighter from the experience. And it was that one kind of glimpse of how maybe things could get better through meditation that started to bring me back time and time again. And a lot of times it was just downright painful for me to sit there and do it. But I knew at the end that I would come out of it. And so in that one time, that moment of vulnerability, I started to also notice a sense of connection with myself, but also with things around me. And it was almost as if I was being held and supported by something that was much greater than myself, in a way telling me that despite my fear and my imperfections, that somewhere I was loved. And so little by little, in all those moments of discomfort is when I really started to see a transformation over time. And instead of running away from all of my thoughts and my emotions, I started to almost lean in a little bit more each time and start to see them with more compassion and sit with my feelings and just acknowledge that they were there and that they existed without trying to ignore them or try to make them into something else. And it definitely was not any sort of like overnight transformation. And even this morning, when I sat down for just 5 minutes, it was really tough for me. Some days are a lot easier than others. And, there's always work to be done. So now it's almost like discovering like new and hidden things within myself as more of like hidden treasures instead of almost like traps to keep me a prisoner of my past. And so I just want you to know that if you're here with me now, and that if you've ever felt discouraged or disconnected in a meditation practice, I just want you to know that it's completely normal and that you are definitely not alone. Sometimes it's really scary to face things that we've hidden away inside ourselves. And we've also very likely hidden them for very, very valid reasons, right? To protect ourselves from hurt, from pain. But I think that they also have a really important message for us because they're part of who we are. And we can almost let them guide us as a compass towards a better self-discovery journey and more deeper healing in our overall lives. Remember also that your journey is very uniquely yours, and that every step you take towards embracing your true self really can be a step towards a greater wholeness and understanding. I'd love to hear about your experiences and insights if you're willing to share, especially if you've encountered similar challenges during your meditation practice. Or maybe you have found your own path to mindfulness and self-acceptance that you think might help someone else. So if you're willing, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And this is all about creating a very supportive space for one another where we can grow and learn together as HSPs. If you found value in this message, just consider sharing it maybe with others who might benefit from learning from my journey in self-discovery. And let's just spread this message of self-compassion and also really just the beauty of embracing our emotions as sensitive people. We are all in this together. So until next time, take care and be well.